beginning of the race.
I want a quick shout out to Dude who's running our tracker for this match. So any problems, make sure to yell at him in chat. Also, the Moon Pearl right away.
Oh, and Furaime got a key. Yeah, the Sanctuary is considered to be part of the Hyrule Castle, so you can get a key there that he'll be able to use in the dungeon later.
Looks like Orphis is taking the trip up here towards the Uncle. Well, you can drop down and grab the Uncle, you know, how he'd normally give you a sword in standard mode, but he's got a random item here in open mode. And
yeah, Furaime's doing Houlihan.
Yeah, he sure is.
What's going to happen here is, for some reason, if the camera is oriented at a specific point, when you jump into water without flippers, when it puts you back on land, it offsets the camera slightly. And when you try to fall into a hole, the game uses the camera's orientation to determine the coordinate position where the hole is expected to be. If it can't find one there, then it runs a backup routine, which takes you to the Houlihan room. This is a great way to get rupees in the early game, which you can use to purchase bombs, since bombs are obviously important early, and also give you a head start to other expensive things like the bottle merchant item or Zora.
Yeah, this will guarantee that they'll be able to buy the bottle vendor item when they're there, rather than just hoping for rupees. Orphis was lucky enough to find bombs in one of the chests he checked out, so he won't have to worry about. He probably won't have to worry about buying them whenever he's done with his rounds over in town here. It does take 3 bombs to grab all the items in town, but you still might want to buy some more on your way out, depending on if you had found any bombs in the chest in town.
Yeah. Orphis is now following up with what would normally be the post-escape route in a standard run. And make his way up, check the tree pool, check a few other randomized loot things, as well as the lumberjack tree, and eventually go to town.
Looks like some 5s from the normal tree pull. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. If Orphis isn't doing Houlihan, then that extra 20 may be what he needs. And just a blue potion up on the lumberjack ledge today.
Could you imagine if the bottle blocked the progressive item at bug catching? Then they had to
If
get
that would be the first bottle, oh man. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Fool Heart just sitting here in the forest. Can't complain about that, especially early on.
Ooh, Furaime's going into the dungeon, using only bombs as a weapon. It's definitely something that can be done. It's not something a lot of players like to do. They don't have to. 300 rupees for Orphis. He's comfortable in rupees now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I think downstairs here, the escape, you're going to need at least 5 bombs, I think, to make it to the end. 1 for the green guard and 2 each for the blues, as long as you don't miss.
Yeah. There's ways you can sort of use the terrain to your advantage. Once you get their attention, you can kind of get them locked into some positions around some objects. Sort of did it there.
Alright, Orphis is going to start his rounds in town here. There's a bunch of stuff here, and it seems fairly likely that he'll find some sort of weapon to help him, where Furaime is just using bombs right now. As much as I'm kind of making fun of it, I think it's great. I don't blame him.
Oh, yeah. It's something you don't see too often, so it's always nice to see.
And the flute.
Nice strategy there, using the stairs. Oh, the flute is nice, especially when you get in town, because you can activate it immediately. We're not going to be bottled. I think Furaime's probably practiced these rooms with bombs, because those all went very smoothly.
He was nailing them. Then only 2 bombs left, but that's okay, because he's got the convenient pots under the jail cell at the bottom here. And just 2 of those will take care of the ball and chain guard.
Yep. A single one for the green guard if he tries to cause any problems. Also, I believe the pots respawn and the enemies do not if you leave and re-enter the room. So if there's any problems, you could just reset the room.
Kind of poking that green guy in the back.
A shield before a sword. Give you a little protection, I guess.
Doesn't happen very often in my experience. Just money and Zelda sell, and a sword.
Oh, an early sword. Yeah, we've seen some pretty late swords in some of the seeds in this tournament already. In open mode, it is possible that the swords can come quite late. Getting them early is always a big comfort.
And another. Oh, man. Kakariko is the place to be. There was a whole bunch of money here, too. I don't think Orphis is going to have any trouble getting the amount of money he needs to do the fake flippers to Zora, if that's what he decides to do.
Yeah. Furaime will have even less trouble, though, thanks to Houlihan.
So there's our quick death mount. Wow, is he really skipping a full heart just sitting there?
It looked like he thought about it for a second. Wow, Candace smarted really early, too.
Good, good. That might give him the weapon he needs to go down to the castle if he wants to. But with the flute, I mean, you can go pretty much anywhere fairly quickly.
Yeah, this opened up a lot very early. The flute alone does that.
Now, they could fly up to Death Mountain right now. It's a very early Death Mountain access, but without much else, the item logic won't really give them more than just a single item up there right now.
Yeah, there wouldn't be too much they could do just yet.
But sometimes this is your only Death Mountain access. If the glove happens to be sitting up there.
Yeah, and also the logic will never force you to climb up there without the lamp.
Yes. So it would be a simple enough task to go grab the old man and get the old man item, but the logic currently doesn't require it.
Ooh, checking
the
desert.
powder sitting on the ledge.
Yeah, I guess that intel plus this one item. If you have the flute, it's actually not too far to collect this one item.
Yeah, this Agina's cave is always kind of a hard one for me to route in, just because of how far away it is from anything really meaningful.
Yeah, it's only a single item. It's very rare for it to be good too, I think. Maybe not in this version, but in some versions of the logic, it was incredibly unlikely. Another heart, not too bad.
We'll probably see him fly down to the dam now and just sweep around the southern area of the world.
Yeah, that's what I would have expected to see first, actually.
Yeah, there's like, 7 chests down there, and then plus Ice Rod Cave if you want to keep going.
Yeah.
Grabbing his cane from the sick kid. Good job. It's definitely important not to forget that while you're here.
Ooh.
Oh, the hook shot was just sitting there in the dam.
Wow. And that'll open up a lot of locations on Death Mountain as well.
Oh yeah, the Paradox Cave, the 7 Chest Cave, whatever you want to call it, that's now open. And then the Spiral Cave is as well.
I still continue along the Lake Hylia shore, though.
Oh, for sure. You don't want to skip these 5 boxes just sitting over here. Oh, yeah. It's only 4, isn't it?
Well, it's 5 item locations. Furaime ran out of bombs, had to purchase some there, but still quite rich. Ooh, a mediocre chicken clip. I don't know about that.
You got kind of in there, but it was still fully visible, so...
Yeah. The hookshot is actually a surprisingly good weapon. Any enemy that it can hurt, it pretty much kills in one shot, and it's a surprising amount of enemies. So if you have that list and you know what it's good against, it's really effective.
Especially early on in this mode, if you don't find a sword, the hookshot's it's really gonna save you.
Yeah, it's really a shame it's not good against any bosses, but it's really good against a lot of regular enemies. And a flat 8 to get a little closer to the Ice Rod Cave.
Now, Ice Rod Cave is kind of like Agina to me. It's one of those really kind of far away spots if you don't have the boots or the flute to get over here pretty quickly, but I find myself checking this more often than not.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you hate to do it, but you also really hate to get burned by it. So you might as well just check it.
Yeah, with the new change in the 2 chests in the waterfall, I found this to be part of my normal route. Ooh.
That's really convenient because now making the way to Hobo and then to the waterfall in Zora is a really convenient sequencing.
Yeah, I was gonna say using fake flippers would be my plan to after doing the ice room check up there, but I suppose if you have real flippers, you don't need to do that. You can just hop right in.
Yeah, you can check every item. It's fake flippers, you'd be leaving just one behind. Well, you can use the fake flippers to get the chests in the Waterfall of Wishing, but you got to use a walk on water glitch, which requires the Moon Pearl, which they do have, so if they're aware of that, they could do it, but they'd still be leaving one item behind in Zora's domain. And now, they don't have to worry about any of that stuff. No minor glitches at all. Do it all legitimately.
With those fake flippers.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Set up fake flippers even when I have them. So Furaime actually did the same thing, went to desert first. Kind of surprising. Because I mean, I wouldn't have done it, and both of these players did it.
It does seem like Furaime's just a little bit behind here, but he's also checked all of Hyrule Basement currently, which Orphis has not been to. So
Yeah.
they're pretty equal footing right now, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. The 2 chests in the Waterfall of Wishing are a fairly recent addition. The 2 chests in the other fairy cave were added a lot earlier because the 2 items given there are unique. There's no other way to get them, but the 2 items given from this waterfall are not really unique. The shield can be purchased at a store, and the red boomerang can be found in a chest. So it was kind of a tough decision whether or not to add those locations there, but eventually the consensus was to do so.
Yeah, and I know personally those 2 just make the fake flippers option so much more enticing to do. I mean, you can only really do it if you have the Moon Pearl, but if you do have it, that's something that's really important for me to check early on.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a circumstantial thing, but it definitely increases the potential for the strength of sequence breaking with minor glitches. Just a heart container there.
Now, I would expect them to head up to Death Mountain now. Maybe save Sastrala and Eastern Palace for a little bit later.
Yeah, probably wouldn't go there just yet. Is he comfortable doing this? Looks like he's not comfortable doing the dark room backwards. There's nothing wrong with that, though.
He's going to be checking the item up inside Spectral Cave right now, and then he's probably just going to hop off the right side and be right next to the broken bridge.
Yeah. Unless he finds the mirror here.
Oh yeah, then he'll definitely probably take out Hera first before doing all that.
Blue potion.
No, it's glass. You were close.
I guess. Yeah, he already has 1 bottle, so... Well, I guess I'll take that.
He's gonna grab it. A pre-filled blue bottle, I suppose, isn't that bad.
Nah, I mean, having some safety is not really anything to... I mean, you don't want to avoid safeties if they're not too far out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Then we know eventually we'll be able to get that magic powder as well, so that'll definitely be like as much safety as these two probably need.
Yeah. Well, we'll be able to check all of the Light World locations here on Death Mountain. None of the Dark World locations, though, without the Titan Myths.
Oh, I'm feeling something important up here. Maybe we'll grab our first glove.
There's a lot of chests. There's a good chance there's going to be something important here.
Or if we find the mirror, then suddenly we have access to Aghanim.
A lot more rupees.
How many 300 drops have they found so far? I mean, they've already spent the 500 on Zora, and they still have 600. This is really rich seed.
Yeah. Yeah, Furaime's making a divergence here. He was sort of following in Orphis's path for a while there, but he's making his way to Sahasra now.
Oh, huh. I wonder if he'll actually dip all the way into Eastern, though. There's a power glove.
Nice. Ooh, talk to Sahasra. He tells you where the green pennant is, doesn't he?
Yep, green pennant is in Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's not intel that we see used very often, but yeah, that's kind of a little information that's built into the randomizer. So what he's thinking now is, hopefully I don't have to do Ice Palace since it's a pendant. That might even be giving a little bit of relief.
Oh, for sure. I know I'd be relieved if I saw Ice Palace as a pendant.
Okay, so Furaime is going to do this dark room, so we will see what the old man has here.
Well, you don't ever want to do Spiral Cave without the boosts, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. This is another room where the hookshot can come in handy, because you don't have to worry about getting shocked by these guys if they electrify right in front of you.
Yeah, and the narrow passages let you hit the mini Moldorms without too much issue.
Old man just holding a piece of heart. Spiral Cave's the Titan Myths. Okay.
Okay, well now he can check the rest of East Death Mountain over here.
Yeah, that's a very convenient place for those items. Especially since he already has the Pearl.
And that also
Check
gives
out.
them Dark World access
Yeah.
from Kakariko Town.
Yeah, not quite the entire Dark World, but a lot of it.
With the flippers, though, it does, though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah, it does. You can go left to right across the river.
Yeah, yeah, typically in this situation, if you were using the myths as the Kakariko portal, you would need either the hammer or the flippers in order to access the eastern side where Palace of Darkness is. But luckily, they do already have the flippers, so they can do that.
Yes, that's pretty much the whole world open up to him already.
Yep, and Aghanim is no longer required. There's some Quake up here in the Bunny Cave and another shield. Haven't seen either medallion yet, but we'll definitely get a Turtle Rock check here in just a moment.
Yeah, and hopefully a map check.
And Ether.
Crystal 6 is Palace of Darkness. We already knew Ice Palace was the green pendant. So Crystal 5 is going to be in the Light World, and that'll be the only crystal in the Light World, whichever dungeon it ends up being at.
With the hookshot, definitely check out all of Hookshot Cave. And then from here, where does he want to go? All of the Dark World has suddenly been opened up. Oh, well. There's Ethers. You gotta duck into Turtle Rock. He has the Cane of Samaria.
That would be an interesting play.
I honestly wouldn't blame him if he went and checked the 2 chests that he can in Turtle Rock.
Nah,
Nope.
actually, I don't think he can get in without the hammer.
Oh, he doesn't have the hammer, of course. I've played this game before, maybe.
Yeah, that would be good though, to see a super early Turtle Rock. Ooh, don't save and quit. Oh man, okay, that was close. Yeah, he's gonna want to finish checking out Death Mountain here.
He hasn't even had a chance to do the Power Glove yet. He already has the mitts. So he still has all this. He even picks up the white rock instead of the black one. I mean, you normally just have the gloves when you're here to check this, not the mitts, so I guess I can't blame you for that.
Another blue potion.
I mean, even if they didn't want safeties, they're just being thrown at them right now.
Yeah. Well, they do have access to a lot of the overworld, but really they don't have what they need to finish almost any dungeons right now.
Yeah, if they can find the lamp, it actually unlocks all of Mire. Well, if they do have the medallion for it, of course.
Right.
Yeah, I would have to agree. In this situation, I would be very tempted to go check the immediate Mire area. Though without the lamp, that is just the whole Desert Palace that you can't check yet. And then the checkerboard queue that you can't check yet.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe wait for the mirror at least. As long as there's other good options, you don't really need to force that early. But the intel would be nice. The medallion information. Now, personally, I like going into Thieves Town early. If it's a crystal, I don't have the hammer, and I'm coming through the Village of the Outcast, I'm probably going to go in and finish it.
Even without the hammer?
Yeah, I probably would.
To be honest, I'm kind of the same way. I think I did it in my match the other day, too. I just went into Thieves Town as soon as possible. I don't think there was anything important in there, but, you know, possibility's always there.
Yeah, the way I see it, if you skip it now, you're definitely going to have to come back later. If you do it now, you might have to come back later if the big chest is an item. So I'll take the maybe over the definitely.
This may just be a little bit of a personal bias here, but I feel like Thieves Town quite often has at least just one item that you're going to need to find.
Well, it does have 4 item locations in it.
Yeah, and just now getting Dark World access, those all could just potentially be the item that the game wants them to find right now.
Yeah. We're going to be doing another dark room here. It's going to be a couple more, actually. They're not terribly difficult. At the very least, the enemies do very little damage, so if it does go kind of poorly, at least it's not going to probably kill you.
Orphis digs up an old cape. We haven't quite seen if that's going to be a required thing now, but that's yet another safety item the game wants them to have.
Yeah. I think Furaime just tried to use a bomb.
I think he lost track of the rat?
I think... I'm not sure, actually. I wasn't sure if he was using it as part of his setup, like to knock him back to where the chest was.
Oh, yeah, that could be it, but...
That'd be a really interesting setup. Fortunately, we're probably not even going to see the item from this chest when it's opened. Oh, well, we did, and it's a heart.
Well, that figures. At least he can put it out of his mind. He doesn't have to come back here later.
Yeah. Let's see how hype Cave is today.
It's been low to medium on the hype scale, in my opinion, recently, so Let's see if it can kind of break that. Furaime is going into Mire area, so we will see the Mire shed and the medallion requirement for it.
Ooh, it's gonna be ether.
All right, they do have that.
Nice.
Now, Mire dark rooms are some of the more complicated ones in my experience, so I don't know if either of these players are going to duck in there. Oh, there's the mirror!
That's really lucky. That's great place. Wow, there's been a lot of really conveniently placed items in this one.
What a spot for the mirror to be. Suddenly he can check the rest of this, he can check Desert Palace, and Orphis is going to be right on his heels.
Wow. Magic? Okay.
You won't want to ignore that. That's a great find.
Oh, they're getting a lot of progression items and a lot of safety items in this one. Usually it's one or the other.
Such an awkward menu. You just want to go to the next row, but no, you got to scroll left and right to get there.
Yeah,
Having that
sometimes
powder.
it's so awkward.
Yeah.
All right, so they won't be able to full clear desert unless there's nothing on the torch and they find a fire source in the dungeon.
Orphis just grabbed the powder and did not check out desert. He's coming over here first. I guess just in case, like, the lamp could be over here.
Yeah.
And he knows he would be able to finish the dungeon. But it looks like we got a small key on the torch, so they will not be able to finish this dungeon quite yet.
Oh, wow.
But it has the bow!
Okay. That's a good item. Wow, so, maybe Eastern Palace right away.
Yep, that's exactly where he's going.
You know, they could get to Palace of Darkness and not finish it. Maybe doing like a north path across Hyrule from town. Maybe they could at least check it out while doing Eastern, or I don't know.
Yeah, with Orphis just found both the cape and the mirror, so he'll be able to check both those items along that path as well.
Yeah. It'd be a little more efficient, maybe, maybe if the hammer happens to be in one of these dungeons especially. I mean, given how the seed has been, I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Looks like Orphis will be going into Mire here without the lamp, so we might see some dark room strats from him.
Yeah, and without a fire source, you can't actually get one of the chests, or two of the chests, in fact.
Oh, yeah, you're right. What a spot for the lamp to be, though, if it's here.
Yeah. Yeah, the lamp would help a little more in the dungeon, but the fire rod, of course, is a more useful item overall. Either one would let him get through this dungeon.
Now, I am a little concerned because if he would have checked Desert Palace, he would have had the bow for Vitreous.
Oh yeah, that's a big help when you have the Master Sword only. Though he does have the cape and half magic and 2 blue potions, so.
Yeah, we found the mushroom here in Eastern Palace.
Okay. May or may not be useful.
I guess both these guys are firm unbelievers of Thieves Town. Is that the ice
Wrong rod? It's still a good one to have, but it's not going to help him here. So we still don't have intel on Light World Pendants and Crystals. I thought somebody looked at the map like right at the beginning, but I don't remember what was which.
Yeah, same here. I definitely did see 2 pendants, but I don't remember what dungeons they were. I want to say Harrow was one of them, but probably shouldn't quote me on that. Speaking of Harrow, with that mirror, now they have access up there.
Wow, he's rapid fire arrows on that Igor while it wakes up. And it works, so... That dark room can actually be one of the hardest ones.
Yeah, that Igor comes at you pretty quickly. And
Yeah.
if you can't take him out, he's gonna start wrecking you. Early on, it's actually pretty dangerous, but with the blue mail and this amount of health, I don't think it would be much of a problem.
Well, you can always just leave the room to reset it, jump into the pod, get some fairies, and try again as many times as you want. As long as you can find the door before you die.
Oh, there you go. Orphis is coming up on the last chest he can check here without any sort of fire.
Yeah, he has found the big keys, so we'll be able to check this, and he will be able to go kill Vitreous. But he's going to have to leave a few locations behind, or potential item locations behind.
Man, that could have been a game changer.
Okay, Eastern Palace was the crystal, and we know that that's going to be crystal 5 or 6. We know it was one of those.
Yeah, so Desert and Hera will be the other two pendants.
Right, blue and red. Possibly even vanilla, but I don't know which is which, so... I don't know which is which in vanilla, I mean.
I want to say Hera's red. I guess it really doesn't matter. Orphis is coming to Eastern Palace as well. Furaime is headed. Oh yeah, to turn on that mushroom he found.
Yeah. If you have the flute, you can do this so fast at pretty much any time, so might as well get it out of the way right away. Coming here now, Orphis will be able to combine Sahasrah's back room and Eastern Palace. A little more efficient for him.
Now, I'm a little concerned that he did not finish Desert.
Yeah, he didn't get the bow. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, so wait.
So it's much less...
He's coming to Eastern. Oh no, he's coming to Eastern without the bow? He didn't pick it up.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, he's not even going to go into the dungeon, it looks like.
Furaime looks like he'll be going into Thieves Town, maybe? Or running along the... Oh, has he even been here yet?
I don't think he has.
Oh yeah, because as soon as he found the myth, he went down to Mire first. And that's where he found his bow, and then went straight to Eastern without going into Mire.
Yeah, and he has the mirror here, so if he wants to, he'll be able to maybe rescue the smith. He has the powder too, doesn't have the hammer, so he's not going to be able to do everything in that area, but he might choose to do what he can now. Anyway, ooh, an Orphis with the Skull Woods play. Some people are a fan of this. They like to at least check the first few locations in Skull Woods, basically along the way, along the north path, along Lower Hyrule. Even if they can't finish this dungeon. I like how we waited for those beetles to be in just the right spot to open that chest.
Yeah, if this chest up here is not a small key, he will have to go through that way, so getting those dudes out of the way is actually not such a bad idea. Oh, but didn't matter this time. I personally am a fan of checking the early Skull Woods. More often than not, I feel like it's got something neat in it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just sort of treat them like caves or something, think about them that way. Since Skull Woods is so fragmented as it is, you don't really have to redo much of the content after you've done it once. You can pretty much just forego it all.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the first item was just a bomb upgrade, so we're still on the hunt for the second one. He'll have to duck into the other part of the dungeon to hold down that switch. And hopefully that's where the item will be. Because he's not going to be able to go any much further past that.
Yep. Oh, it's going to be hard.
Dang, well, nothing of worth in Skullwoods today.
Yeah, at least he doesn't have to worry about an item being in Skullwoods anymore.
That cape may entice Furaime to check out the northern loop of Dark World here, and it might lead him over to Pod, which is, in my opinion, looking kind of strong right now.
Yeah, even if he isn't able to finish it, it's still a lot of potential item locations in there. The only thing that's not accessible if you don't have the hammer is the boss, so you'll be able to get every other chest.
And with the mirror, that's going to cut down on the checking time quite a bit. The mirror does save quite a bit of time in pod.
Yeah, so Furaime kind of started the lower Dark World loop and then went back. Most likely going to get this chest and then flute down to 7 to turn it in. That would be my guess anyway. Although, without the hammer, you won't be able to get back into the Dark World easily over there and get to the Hype Cave.
Yeah, Orphis is going to be cashing in his cape now. Was that digging game cape actually the start of an item chain? No, it wasn't. Magic Bat I haven't actually seen too often in these races nowadays. Just the powder just seems to come so late.
Yeah, sometimes it does. And just some more rupees, just in case they were getting low.
Alright, are you going to head up to Catfish, or are you going to head straight back down into Pod?
Having already done everything up there in the light world, he can't make more efficient that path with the mirror. But has he turned in his mushroom already?
Oh, the boots in the purple chest!
Oh wow. That's really nice.
Oh no.
Wow, so when he does his North Hyrule loop, he'll be able to check the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, so that'll be even more efficient for him.
Though it looks like he's going straight towards those right now.
Yeah, in the light
world.
world.
Ignore the Dark World counterparts.
Well, there's the last medallion. Bombos. May possibly be needed, not to open the dungeon, but because they don't have the fire rod yet, they may need it in Ice Palace if they end up having to go there.
They have to dip into Pendant Ice Palace as a last resort.
I imagine that will be a very last resort. Nothing in King's Tomb.
But they now can complete Desert Palace. Well, I mean, it's a pendant, I suppose, but... Man. A little concerned about Orphis. He might take a while to grab that bow.
Yeah.
And did he check the blacksmith at all? And just not the purple chest, or did he not even do that?
I think he didn't have the mirror the first time he came through that area, so he probably put it off for that reason.
Oh, I see.
All right, we're going to see hammerless Thieves Town. And bow and hammerless Palace of Darkness.
Now, the bow can only be in the first 3 chests of Palace of Darkness. So since they have the bow, it kind of... the later chests kind of depend on the bow to be accessible. So with the bow accessible just like that, it kind of calls out that they're going to find something here in the back of Pod. At least that's my thinking. And when I'm wrong, well... You can laugh at me, but that's how I'm thinking right now.
No, that's a fine assumption, but it also means that because we know that the bow cannot be here, that he may actually not be able to progress without it. The first chest doesn't have to be a key. You know, it could be a big key or it could be junk, and then he'll not be able to proceed at all. So far, I think Thieves Town was pretty boring, wasn't it?
I didn't see much. Yeah, looks like Pod is bow locked.
That's too bad. He's going to be doing Eastern Palace without the bow as well.
Oh no.
Dang,
So
I wonder what it's going to take to lead him back to desert. That might not be something he wants to do for a long time, because, you know, I mean, he still can't full clear Misery Mire, and he can't full clear desert either. He'll need to find those boots or a fire source probably before he goes back there.
Yeah, I can understand his line of thinking, but that mirror there just kind of screams out, hey, you have access to this now, go check it.
Yeah.
But, man, oh man, I don't know.
Well, there's still a few items that haven't been found yet.
Hammer being very important and the fire rod as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I was thinking about Orphis turning in the mushroom earlier, but he actually hadn't picked it up yet. All right. Has anybody in chat been counting items in Thieves Town? Is there something in the big chest, or do we not know yet?
Maybe if he pauses here soon we can see, but I don't think he's going to. He doesn't really have a reason to.
Not unless he loses 12 hearts to blind or something.
He needs to pull out this one of 20 safeties he has.
Yeah. All right, blind is a totally scripted fight. It's very difficult when you don't know what you're doing, but when you do know what you're doing, it can be pretty much the easiest boss fight because it behaves exactly the same every time. You execute it the same every time. If the first two phases go correctly, which they did here, it pretty much doesn't matter if the third phase goes wrong, and that was a little bit off script, but still very clean fight for him there. And that's another item. That may have been the fourth item. But more importantly, it's another crystal. Gives him a 2 crystal lead.
So, I'm thinking Furaime might head down towards Swamp? Well, no, he doesn't have a hammer.
He still hasn't done Hype Cave, so...
Oh, really? He came up through this way, didn't he? I think.
He went down and then back up, and then got the chest and used the flute to turn in the chest, so he wasn't able to actually do Hype Cave at the time. I think that's...
I see. I see, yeah, he went down there and checked the grove, and then went back up for the... Yeah, okay, I see, I suppose.
Oh man, is Orphis making the Ice Palace play?
Oh, with his bombos, he can check it all.
Yeah, well, he can't quite check everything without the hammer.
Oh, of course.
But that could be here.
I think
Something could be.
there was a race where the hammer was in the big chest here in Ice Palace.
Yeah. It really can make the routing in this dungeon really difficult, actually, when you get the hammer partway through. It's really a shame, because all these decisions are kind of being forced by that desert skip.
This is just yet another double dip we'll probably have to do if the hammer's in here.
Yeah.
Yo, nice bombo strats.
Yeah, might as well use it. The big key early in Ice Palace. Big key is not normally an item that you need to find at all in Ice Palace to complete it, as long as you can do the bomb jump. But in a randomizer, the rules are completely different, and getting that can actually be a good thing.
Furaime will be up here finding his nothing in Skull Woods.
Yeah.
Then maybe he too... Oh, he doesn't have bombos yet. No, he can't go to Ice Palace.
Maybe he'll go to Palace of Darkness. A lot of item locations there, and he can check them all. Couldn't finish it without the hammer.
Yeah, he's the one with the bow. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah, he didn't do the Dark World, North Hyrule stuff. He just did that stuff in the Light World. So maybe he'll make that loop and end at Palace of Darkness.
I see, yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Ooh, going back for that heart and losing 3 in the process. I hate when that happens, but it seems to happen a lot, doesn't it?
This room is so weird to
Ooh.
navigate.
He's not going to go back for the fairy this time, though. Make the same mistake.
Yeah, this makes sense. If you're going to check all the chests here and not planning on fighting the boss, this makes a lot of sense. Just to skip the bomb jump and go.
Yeah, although if he does find the hammer, he's going to wish that he had done the bomb jump, probably.
I would assume that it'll still be fine because he has the Canis Maria.
That's a good point, yeah. Doesn't have to do this bomb jump either because he does have the hook shot.
Thank goodness. Imagine coming here without the hammer or the hook shot.
I wouldn't have too much trouble because I can do both of those bomb jumps, but I would still probably put it off if I could.
So this will be the only chest he can check over here because he's
Yeah.
not gonna be able to get up here.
Yeah, he'll notice that pretty quick. Yeah, turn back around.
Yeah, just as you said, Furaime is going to be doing his North Graveyard tour here, and then probably loop on over to Pod. He's got to think, what's he want to do? Yeah, he's stuck. He has to mirror out if he wants to get to the other side where the big chest is.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's really a shame. Because if he had found another small key, I guess he would have been able to go back. Other than that, though.
I mean, the dream is still kind of alive. We still have 2 more chests to check over here.
Yeah. This seed was so good, but for him, it's probably feeling really bad now. For Furaime, it's probably feeling a bit questionable, depending on what the next few plays turn out. But overall, for him, it probably feels like a great seed.
Yeah, I would assume he's feeling pretty okay right now. That bow find is just one of those items, you know? And he's just been clearing, like, crystals, or at least what he can of crystals.
Yeah.
But that elusive hammer, and I suppose the fire rod, too.
Yeah, or really any fire source.
I would imagine he'll be checking on Misery Mire after this, if for some reason he doesn't find anything in Pod. This is Vamos. Oh yeah, he has Ice Palace now too.
With the Canis Maria, I'd still do Misery Mire before Ice Palace. They have the same amount of item locations. You are able to complete Misery Mire with just the cane if the big key is in a location where you can get to it without a fire source, and it's a crystal. So between those two, it'd be Mire, probably for me. Plus, he could check a couple more locations in Desert while he's there, if he needs to. Well, yeah, a couple more. He'll be able to get the small key and a couple chests.
Yeah, Swamp Palace is actually blocked a lot by the hammer. Without the hammer, you can only check a single chest in Swamp Palace. That isn't to say that one chest can't be the hammer. It totally can.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
It really is one of the worst places for it to be, though. Just because it's kind of convoluted to even get into Swamp Palace. You gotta drain the thing. You gotta get to the Dark World, mirror to the Light World, drain the thing, go back to the Dark World, go in. Just to check one location. That's probably not gonna be it. Oh, and there's a fire source.
There is our first fire source in the lamp. And then right below it, is this going to be where the hammer is?
Oh. Without the hammer, he still can't finish this dungeon.
Yeah, there's not much else he can do here. He's just got to go. Oh, wait, did he check the jellyfish room? Oh, he had the small key. You can check it now.
Oh, okay. Cool. So one more location then. The dream is still alive, potentially.
So what does that lamp open up that we haven't seen yet? They can finish...
There's a couple more chests in Mire, plus you won't have to worry about the dark rooms in that dungeon. Really, it doesn't open... I mean, it lets him get to the boss of Desert, but without the boots, you won't be able to get the key.
Right,
So
and I suppose it could do Hera as well if they really want to go all the way up there, but I would definitely bank on Mire before that.
Yeah. Well, we're finally going to see what Palace of Darkness holds, since Furaime can clear out most of it.
Looks like it's going to be Mire. And with any luck, he'll also check Desert.
Yeah, at least what he can. And if he does, he'll be pretty happy when he does. Well, actually, he'll probably be kicking himself.
Oh yeah,
he'll be relieved a little bit, but a little upset about how long it took to find it.
Somehow that bomb missed. Did Orphis find the big key? Yes, he does have the big key already. He's just missing out on the couple chests that he couldn't get to because he didn't have fire at the time.
Yeah. I imagine he'll finish this dungeon while he's here this time. There's nothing really holding him back from doing that.
And with any luck, he'll just pull out his mirror right after it.
A map in the compass chest.
Man, you know we're going to see... I'm really thinking the fire rod's going to be locked behind the lamp here, and we're going to get a forced double dip into Ice Palace, because then you'll find the hammer. I don't know. This game, man.
It could be.
You see a lot of people doing this room with the fire rod, but it is actually possible to do it with the lamp. Even with this very long lag time between lighting the torches up, there's still enough time to do all this down here.
Yeah, as long as you don't make too many movement errors or get hit by a whiz robe or something. Downstairs, House in Darkness. We saw a key and okay, no invisible items this time.
There's the fire rod and the hammer!
Oh, wow.
Okay. Fire rod locked in Mire behind the lamp, which is in Ice Palace. Furaime just found the hammer in Palace of Darkness. Holy moly.
Wow. Well, so Furaime's going to be able to finish Palace of Darkness here, which makes hammer, again, a really conveniently placed item. But those fire sources are really bad. Doesn't necessarily mean a double dip Ice Palace, though, because they may not have to go back there and complete it at all. But they'll at least have to partially clear it.
Man, oh man.
Dark Maze, Palace of Darkness. Unfortunately, it's a room where if you don't know exactly where to go, it is possible to get lost and never find your way. I think he got all he needed in there.
I think he has the blue boomerang, but I don't know. I don't recognize anything else new.
I think he got that from the big key chest.
Oh, yep. Wait, that long ago? Really? Oh man. I thought I was paying attention.
I barely saw it.
Where is Bo? Bo is located in Pendant Desert Palace. It's in the first chest in the north, the one that you usually check first. Orphis did not check it his first time, well, whenever he first had access to it. But with any luck, right after Mire here, he will be using his mirror and checking out Desert. Though with that fire rod, that might just lead him straight back to Skull Woods or somewhere else.
Yeah,
I really hope he checks Desert. Though I guess he knows that he's found both items in Skullwood, so he knows there's not going to be anything in there.
Yeah. This actually puts Furaime in kind of a strange place. After Palace of Darkness, he has, I mean, he can partially clear Mire, but I mean, he can finish the dungeon, but he won't be able to get the Fire Rod. He can do Ice Palace, which is the pendant. Probably won't do that. One chest in Swamp. Probably won't do that either. Lots of choices, but unfortunately, the correct one is kind of the strangest. To go to Ice Palace first.
Well, Furaime has a hammer. He can finish Swamp Palace.
Oh, right. And he could also full clear Ice Palace. It wouldn't be a partial thing. It is that. Yeah, so Swamp. Yeah, Swamp's probably there.
Swamp is definitely a strong play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making good use of that half magic cape.
Oh yeah.
Using Bamos strats on the Dark Turtle room there.
That worked really well.
Yeah, the medallions work on those guys as long as they're flipped over. Oh, do it, Orphis, do it. Walk straight up. Yes, all right.
Also, is going to take 17 hits with the hammer. With the Master Sword, you can do 8 slashes on the crystal, or 8 arrows. Spins do double damage to slashes, of course, or some combination of those. He's got the bow. Is he going to exit through the other door?
Yes, he doesn't have a key. I don't know why he just doesn't use the mirror.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't thinking.
He doesn't need to check over here. Yeah, he knows it's got to be a key on the torch. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Orphis go mode? No, he's not. He's missing the hammer that's in Palace of Darkness.
That's right. Potentially the boots could be required. We don't know for sure. For the key in Ganon's Tower, for example.
So wait, what was the other item in Mire? Was it the ice rod?
Yeah, it was both rods.
So both rods, yeah. That's pretty silly.
Yeah. Okay. It's got to be swamp time.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense with what he knows right now.
You know, the kind of unfortunate situation that Orphis was in that forced him to do Ice Palace as early as he did may have actually ended up being a good thing in the long run.
I feel like he's making up pretty good time now, as long as he heads over to Pod without the hammer, which I think eventually he'll just do.
Yeah.
It won't take too long to figure out that's where he needs to go next.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the meanwhile, Furaime is going to be full clearing Swamp Palace here. And we know he's not going to find anything of use. Maybe a sword, but other than that, there's not much.
Yeah.
I suppose silvers are still kind of out there too somewhere.
Mossy can be one of the easiest or hardest fights. Has probably some of the highest variance of any boss fight in the game. He's not really at risk of dying here, but he doesn't really have a lot of weapons that do a lot of damage, so it's probably just going to be kind of a slow fight.
Yeah, half magic fire rod though isn't too bad. I believe it's what, 8 shots?
Yeah. 8 shots. Slash with the Master Sword is the same damage. Yeah, okay, that wasn't bad at all.
He got really lucky with Mothula just flying in the center.
Yeah.
Where are you headed, Orphis? He's walking back through.
That's
Oh, he doesn't have the hammer. This is gonna be his way into pod.
I guess so. I mean, he could have still mirrored and fluted to town.
Yeah.
Well, that might not have been faster, actually. It's hard to say.
Oh yeah, I guess you can just take the southeastern exit here, and it'll probably be just about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance of not having the hammer. That this is how you got to get into pod. Otherwise, you got to hoof it all the way from the other side of Dark World.
Yeah, unless you kill Ganon. But that's not a good thing to do just for the warp.
Oh, he's gonna be doing Thieves Town first. I see.
Ah, okay.
This is a really long time to wait to do Thieves Town, in my opinion. Crystal Thieves Town.
Yeah.
Did Furaime skip the western side?
Yeah, he might be putting it off. Some players like to wait. Yeah, there's some weird routing philosophies in Swamp Palace. Some people do some really strange variations, rather.
Oh, I see. He went up to see if the big key was there, because then he could have just gone upstairs after checking these two.
Yeah.
But it looks like Argus is going to drop it, I would guess. I don't think I saw him get it.
Could be Argus or it could be on the west side. Either way, he's probably going to come back in and do the west side after he kills Argus.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with chat. Hammer and Pot is pretty nasty, but at least you can check all of the chests there without it. You're blocked pretty hard in some other dungeons without it.
Yeah, for sure. I imagine that Orphis after Thieves Town may go ahead and do the Smith. May get the chest and the boots at that time. Let's see. Since he does have the mirror now. Still doesn't have the hammer, so he can't do everything over there. But he can at least do some of it.
Yeah, he knows he doesn't have the hammer, so he's not going to grab that extra key.
I've seen that before, but if the hammer ends up being here, you're going to really...
I know, right? That's how it's going to work.
Yeah, I actually thought about that once. I thought that might be a good routing choice, but I decided that it's just not worth it. It's like a couple seconds to get.
Oh, Furaime did find the tempered sword here. Okay. That's probably going to be all of the things he'll want for Ganon. He probably isn't going to go out of his way to search for anything else.
No, I wouldn't think so. It's not uncommon, though, to see players open a chest that's right along the way if they're still missing the silver arrows. Even if you're missing the gold sword, I probably wouldn't open up extra chests if I had the tempered.
Yeah, but silvers just save so much extra time that I could see if you're walking right past something, you might as well check.
Yeah.
Well, we may see them yet, depending on how long it takes Furaime to get over to Ice Palace and Mire.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm not sure exactly what else he has to check other than, like, Hera and Desert. Oh, well, I can't finish Desert.
Yeah, I could see him doing Mire very soon. He could check a couple extra locations in Desert. I'm afraid, though, that if he finds the Ice Rod in Mire, he may make a Turtle Rock gamble. That would kind of be worst case for him.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, at least without the Fire Rod, he'll be blocked off pretty quickly in T-Rock.
Yeah.
But man, it just takes so long to get up there.
I don't know how likely he is to make a gamble like that. I'm not quite familiar enough with his playstyle. Checking Green Pendant Ice Palace before doing a Turtle Rock gamble, that's not a bad call. Does he have Crystal 5 and 6?
Yeah, it looks like he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be able to do this. Well, Orphis grabs his, what, 4th crystal? 3rd crystal. But he's running out of locations to go. Oh, wait. Where are you going, Orphis? This is not the way to pod.
Yeah.
Oh, the blacksmith, right.
Yeah, but I can't imagine there's much more that he'll do before going to Palace of Darkness.
The boots will be a nice reward, but we know that they're not really going to unlock anything useful. I mean, barring that big key on the torch, but...
Yeah.
If you're in super speed state, can you not pick up the giant bomb?
No, you cannot.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice way to put yourself right up against the door. Save a few frames going in.
Alright, Orphis grabbed his boot chest, so he'll be grabbing those really quickly. Oh no, it looks like Furaime is heading up to Turtle Rock, or Hera.
Well, maybe both.
Oh no.
That's really too bad.
This is what Orphis needs.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
with those boots, he's gonna check some extra spots right now. I would assume the graveyard area.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, nope. Wait,
Go straight from the dungeon?
he doesn't have the hammer. He can't get in this way.
That's right. He could still full clear Eastern Palace if he wanted to. Oh, well, yeah, completed. He's already gotten all the items, but he'll be able to get the crystal. Yeah, he's going to do a different option here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna combine the two, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And then this way he'll also be able to do the boot stuff along the way. If he goes the north route. Well, he has to go the north route because the south route is hammer blocked.
Yeah, and it looks like Hera is locked by the fire, so Furaime actually can't go any further there.
That's actually good for him.
Really convenient.
Yeah.
Spike Cave? Yeah, looks like it.
I hate this kind of position, you know, when you get into where you're like, do I want to check these last few overworld places before going to a dungeon? You really just want to check what's convenient. But you hate to have to go to a dungeon twice.
Especially one like Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
But it looks like he might have been saved. He's not headed up the Turtle Rock now at all. Oh, wait. No, he's probably just going to heal and flute. Yeah. That's one of the benefits of the Mountain Cave checkpoint I really like. It's the heal and getting outside very quickly compared to Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to Ice Palace!
Is he? Wow, interesting choice. I mean, it is a green pendant. And he can full clear it. You know, the other dungeons remaining, he can't, so...
It was a much riskier play for Orphis that played off, but with the hammer, he shouldn't be feeling like this is risky at all.
Yeah, it's much less of a risky choice for him. Alright, well... He doesn't know exactly what's going to happen when he gets the lamp, so he may still choose to finish the dungeon after he finds it. It's not like he knows that getting the lamp's going to get him the ice rod and the fire rod.
I wouldn't blame him at all for finishing the dungeon. I honestly probably would too.
It's going to take some time to full clear Ice Palace, though.
Orphis is catching up fast. He's about to grab his hammer, and... Geez, that'll put him into go mode, won't it?
Yeah, it will. With Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness done, he's actually going to take us one crystal lead. But I imagine that, well, he does have Eastern Palace partially cleared, and that's a fast dungeon. House of Darkness is going to take a while. It's going to be a while before he finds the hammer. We'll see. It's going to be a while before they converge, probably, but it's going to be really hard to call who's in the lead for the next few minutes.
Yeah. Furaime, of his remaining crystals, we know that he has Skullwoods all done except the last spot. And then, I mean, Misery Mire, he's going to basically have to full clear to find that Fire Rod.
Yeah.
Man, he nailed that bomb jump. He didn't even like have to position himself. He just knew.
Yeah, that feels great when that happens. Do you remember where the sword upgrade was in Swamp Palace?
Not specifically where it was. I don't think it was the very first chest. It might have been the southern chest, like below the big chest.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking about now. Is Orphis is going to be doing go mode for the rest of his dungeons. There's a chance he may not end up picking up another sword unless he just gets the chest along the way, as we were saying earlier.
Yeah, okay. Chad is saying it was in the southern chest below the big key chest, so I would imagine him not finding that.
Yeah, unless he really needs. I mean, if he really considers a third sword or silver arrows to be a required item, then he won't consider himself to be in go mode after getting the hammer.
Furaime does his frustration dance after noticing the lamp there. Yeah, it looks like he is going to continue on.
Yeah. He still needs 2 more items, doesn't he? So, I mean, we know where they are. Very convenient relative to each other, but yeah. Oh, I think he intentionally walked into the hole there so he could walk through that jelly with iframes. So he didn't have to use as many hook shots to get through.
Yeah.
Chat Intel says Orphis prefers an extra sword, but if he has enough potions, he'll go Master Sword. I think he'll go Master Sword then.
Yeah, he's got, what, 2 blue potions right now?
I think he still has both of them and another bottle that he could fill up if he needed to.
Here comes the hammer.
And that's going to be a relief.
The bug net. Oh no, Orphis missed out on the bug net on the very last spot there. That is Orphis's go mode.
That's right. Hitting this with the sword beam. It's a little harder than with an arrow.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess Furaime still hasn't found all of his items here because it looks like he's still searching. Or maybe just taking a different path. No, he's gonna get this last chest here. Compass and what I believe is a small key chest in vanilla.
Ice Palace is so complicated with the different item layouts you can come in here with. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
There's like a lot of different paths you can take to this dungeon.
Yeah, it plays into Randomizer really well for that reason. It's really the only dungeon in the original game that has anywhere near this level of complexity.
I mean, not even just the items you have, just the layout of the items themselves too. The small keys specifically can just crazy alter your route.
Are coming into their boss fights at the same time. I think Cold Stare is a little bit faster.
Especially with Tempered.
Maybe.
Oh no! Just a
Oh,
little
they
bit
split
early
up.
on that swing release.
That's a shame. Well, maybe Coaster's going to be a little bit slower this time.
Hammering Helmosaur seems really difficult to me. I don't know if
Yeah.
I've ever tried it.
It's a lot easier if you keep your sword out while you're doing it, because that expands the hammer hitbox a little bit. But it is possible, yeah. And if you can just tank damage, yeah, it's not too bad. Finish them up around the same time. That's going to even up the crystal count, but it's going to put Furaime ahead on the pendant count. Unfortunately, that's not going to do anything for him.
He's gotta go. He's gonna go turn that in. And where's he gonna go? He's gotta go to Mire, right? I mean, that's the most logical play.
I think so. With the fire source, he doesn't have to worry about not being able to full clear it. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably get Sajal out of the way. Just one thing to get off your mind before finishing up the dungeons.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. And I don't blame him at all for that. I mean, if you get the green pennant, I mean, you got the green pennant for a reason. You gotta find out what it is.
Yeah. Still 2 canes to go. This reminds me of an old run I did where the canes were at Sahasral and Pedestal were the 2 locations for him.
You know, if Orphis doesn't find his sword and Furaime manages to come across the silvers for some reason, that could be a big difference in Ganon time.
Oh yeah, I mean, just Master Sword and Temper Sword difference is huge.
They're like, I have no idea where Furaime would come across them that Orphis wouldn't at this point.
Right.
I guess it could depend on the G Tower gamble, left or right side.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, are we gonna see a bird toss? Oh no! Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, but I think it's safe to say that Orphis is going to take the lead here, because full clear Mire is going to be a little bit slow, and go mode Swamp House is going to be pretty fast, which is what Orphis is going to do after Eastern.
Yep, that'll be his last crystal after that. Well, I'm sorry, Turtle Rock, of course.
Yeah, they'll both be going to Turtle Rock last. Furaime will also have to do Skull Woods before he makes his way up there. That'll be really fast too. But yeah, he'll be a little bit behind.
Little trouble with Armos. If one thing goes wrong here, these guys can go everywhere.
Yeah, he got the full split too, far left and far right.
Here's your Ice Rod.
It's a little bit of relief. I guess the important factor here is whether or not Orphis goes a little bit out of his way to check any more chests.
Ryan, where are you going? No, no. Oh no, where's he going?
This is a different route. Sometimes people check this chest first,
Oh,
hoping that they find everything they need, so that they can skip the last chest. But if they don't find what they need, usually go for the last chest anyway.
I see. Yeah, for some reason I thought he had done that chest already as well. I was kind of
Yeah.
going weird there. Oh no, but he's going this way anyway.
Maybe he'll check the last small chest. Oh no. I'm pretty sure he's just really hoping that he can confirm that that last item is the compass. And not have to go back for it because it's slow to get to.
Oh no. I'm pretty sure he's just teasing us. Like,
I
he
think-
knows it's over there, and he's gonna be like, these guys over in Twitch chat.
Well, he went back into swamp after skipping the west side because there was one item remaining. So I'm pretty sure in the situation he's in, he's not going to just leave that.
Oh no, he's going to Vitreous.
He's gambling, but I think he'll go back in, or he'll make the T-Rock gamble. And
He has to go back in.
it's really unfortunate, but yeah. Yeah, he's really hoping Vitreous has the last item of this dungeon, and he can confirm that the big key chest, the vanilla big key chest, is a compass, which he unfortunately won't be able to do.
Yeah, fire and ice rod were both in Mire. The fire rod is locked behind fire that you got from the lamp that was in Pin and Ice Palace. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, the route that he's doing here isn't bad. There's only a couple items in this dungeon and a lot of locations. And he's checking every location except for one, and the one location happens to be the farthest out of the way. So statistically, this isn't a bad choice, but in this case, it's going to not turn in his favor. And yeah, Orphis is skipping the sword chest in the swamp.
Even having to do Master Sword Silverless, he's still going to have a pretty substantial lead.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty big lead in the end. Or at least by the time they both get to Ganon's tower, it should still have a pretty big lead.
Oh, right. Furaime still has to do Mothula. Forgot about that.
Yeah. It's a pretty quick dungeon. But if he has to go back into... Well, I mean, he's not going to Mothula next if he doesn't go back into Mire first.
Right.
Now he's sad. Now he's probably thinking, Turtle Rock gamble or go back into Mire.
No. Come on, dude. Hold up. Just hold up. You got this.
Here we go.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. Yeah, he'll be a little annoyed, but happy to have the last item he needs. It's going to be a few minute difference though that he's going to have to make up. Argus going down with the Master Sword. A little more annoying. This is actually the intended equipment for this fight. Though usually in speedruns and even in most randomizers we do have better equipment at this point.
Alright, with Argus down, all Orphis has to do is head up to Turtle Rock and clear that out. And then he's good to go.
Yep.
Hoping to find the Tempered Sword somewhere along the way.
Yeah, and he will still have to open a lot of chests in Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower that could potentially have it without going out of his way at all. Just looking for the big keys.
Alright, are we gonna get any sign of rage on this chest here? Nope, he's like, alright, gotta go. All business right now.
Yeah. He's a full dungeon behind, but it's a fairly quick dungeon. Takes some time to get into it. Not a lot he has to do once he gets there, though. So I'd say... Oh, go ahead.
I was wondering if you got a shield eaten, but it looks like he still got it.
Oh. Yeah, I think the only real The only real disparity that's gonna make a difference now is either the sword discrepancy or Ganon's Tower route. Both of those could make a couple minute difference.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna make enough of a difference.
Nah, I mean, if Orphis goes into Ganon with the Master Sword, all it takes is a little bit of nerves to fall down once or twice. But yeah, I mean, it would have to be pretty dramatic difference at this point. And of course, he could just find a sword right here in Turtle Rock. Little trolly moth. Okay, it came down a little bit at the end. Made it a little easier.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about how Orphis's the fact that he missed the bow when he did was actually pretty helpful in the end, wasn't it? Because it pushed him towards that lamp a lot earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
Orphis is dropping a couple frames here.
Alright, I think Furaime is going to be able to get into the dungeon before Orphis is done.
Well, it's not as far behind as I originally thought, but this run is pretty far.
We're doing the super speed all the way across that screen. We call it the
Wow.
Waffle House drive-through, and it's actually quite difficult.
What part of that is the waffles?
Oh, there's an old player named Waffle who got severely owned by squirrels there once, like you've never seen before. So he's nicknamed that screen the Waffle House. Ooh, a squirrel block. That'll be about 10 seconds of more time lost for him.
Man, now I want waffles. This is your fault.
No.
Oh man, we're having a good time here. Well, they found the big kill already, so they're not gonna have to go hunting for that in Turtle Rock here. So they can just snatch this key from the pokey coming up. Won't even bother checking the item inside.
No, they really shouldn't. Probably check the big chest. Most people do, just for the chance of a small key being there.
Now, is it if you have 2 small keys, by the time you have to make that decision, that you can skip it?
Yes. If that ever happens. I think you have to get, like, all small keys at the beginning or something. Yeah. Well, except for the big key.
Yeah, it's, like, exceedingly rare for that to happen.
And the odds, I mean, it's still a pretty good chance that that you're not going to need to open the big chest. The odds are definitely in your favor. And Orphis is taking the risk.
With him finding the bow as late as he did, he's got to think he's behind.
I would imagine so, yeah. So there's now 5 more chests. If any one of them has a small key, then he's fine, and he's
There
fine.
you go.
You think? Well, actually, Orphis, he has a lot of safety items and potions. I was going to ask if you think he would open up the laser key door, but I think that's unlikely just because of how many safeties he has. Well, I shouldn't have said anything.
He really wants a sword, yeah.
Oh, is he going to open the chest?
Oh, wait. We lagged a little bit there. Looks like he
Yeah.
didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe he would open the door for safety because you know the Charnix fight with the Master Sword can be pretty difficult. But with half magic and a couple blue potions, I think he's probably not too worried.
Ooh. I don't remember if they found a fairy in a bottle or not, or if he has one. With that bug net he has.
Yeah, I don't think he has one, but he does have powder and blue potions, so
Oh yeah, he's just about to come up on those 4 fairies, he'll be fine.
yeah. Ooh, okay, wow.
RNG.
Very nearly poked that pokey. If you poke it before you release the spin, it's going to take 3 hits instead of 2. And it's gonna troll you, most likely.
Yeah, that was pretty good RNG getting him to come up in that corner like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the pokies, they start in a consistent spot, and then their initial movement can be one of 4 directions, the 4 diagonals. So for the single pokey, there's 4 patterns. For the double pokey room, there's 16 patterns. And believe it or not, we actually have specifically optimized strategies for every one of the 16 patterns for regular speedruns.
I have seen that video. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Furaime's not playing risky like Orphis did. Unfortunately, it's going to lose him a little bit more time. Ooh, the shuffle.
Ooh,
Orphis is getting in a bad position.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Use that potion.
The hammer hitbox. Everybody's favorite.
It's so weird on Trinex.
Yeah.
With him circling around like that.
Three bombs from Trinex. Not much of a surprise considering how much that guy explodes.
Try bombs.
Exactly.
Alright, so I know a lot of people like to do a thing where they spit out a number in chat about where a certain key might be. So if that's your thing, if that's something you like to do, let's see it.
Oh, is that why people post numbers in the chat?
What I've heard. I've read a couple things.
Yeah, there's 20-something locations. 22, I think.
29 or so. Yeah, I lose count.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Just post a random number. Post 420 if you don't know what to guess.
Might as well be. It feels like it sometimes.
Alright. Orphis going right first. Probably the standard route, the most common route. I think people just get these first 2 chests and then go left. Some people like to go right if they get a key here. Oh, and there's a sword. That's going to give him a lot of comfort.
Oh, well, yeah, there goes the only advantage Furaime would have had. Though he will be getting gold sword, it's not going to save nearly as much time as the change from master to tempered.
Yeah. Yeah, and Orphis is committing to the right side after getting a small key in one of those chests.
Well, this might actually catch Furaime up then, right? If he decides to go left,
And the big
keys
key.
over there, that's gonna push them a lot closer. Though I think Orphis will still be in the lead because this side doesn't really take that long to check all of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what kind of route Furaime normally does in Ganon's tower. A little lag. I don't know if he's found.
Oh
the key.
no!
Did he find it?
Well, he didn't find a small key. He's gonna grab a small key.
And then
No, he doesn't have it.
Okay. So it's either west side or behind Armos.
All right, Furaime, this is your tournament life, except not really. But you should always play like it is. Is he gonna grab it and go left?
That could be enough if he does to catch up. If his gameplay is a little bit better.
Oh, he's staying.
Oh no. Okay. So Orphis is going to maintain the lead that he had coming into the dungeon, unless the big key is behind Armos and Furaime full clears all the way to Armos. So yeah, still not quite. Oh, never mind. It was on the left side, pretty early.
Yep. He didn't check those last 2 chests though, so if those happen to be the silvers, it probably won't change too much because of the sword situation. But
Silvers could see
who knows?
if the fights are done optimally with and without. It's about a 20 to 30 second difference with silver arrows.
Okay, so it probably won't make up too much time.
No.
Execution will be a lot bigger factor here in the later part of G Tower.
Yeah. This is a very difficult dungeon to execute well. Yeah, it's good. Here, equip the mirror, so he'll be getting his small key and then mirroring out. Pretty common to see that play. Orphis is coming into the part of Ganon's tower we like to refer to as the Gauntlet. In one of the official strategy guides, this is referred to as the enemy endurance test. We still call it the Gauntlet, though. Very difficult set of 5 rooms. Every objective in every room is simply to kill all the enemies to proceed.
But of course, it's not always that easy. These spinning eye statues and the conveyor belts everywhere.
Yeah. Honestly, BMOS on conveyors is a brilliant design choice, in my opinion.
It definitely makes them a lot more tricky to deal with than you would think.
Yeah. Their bodies are sort of rotating in the opposite direction that their eyeballs are rotating. So there's like 2 different dynamics you gotta think about. Optimal Master Sword Silverless versus Butter with Silvers. Wow. I'm not really sure what the difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword is. Optimal Master Sword is actually surprisingly clean compared to average Master Sword, but it's still like an extra minute difference or something. Orphis is having some trouble with these worms. The Fire Rod is very strong against these guys, knocking out half of their HP in one hit. Tempered Sword Slash does a quarter, and Tempered Sword Spin, of course, also does a half. So some combination of those weapons, usually you can take them out pretty fast. Gold Sword is a little nicer because you can slash them for half of their HP. Just slash them twice. Or use the Fire Rod.
That dash there along the bottom of the spikes that Furaime just did, that's actually really difficult for me. I've been trying.
Yeah.
I would run into something.
Yeah, it's really tough to learn. It's like you think you should have like a visual cue for when to start the dash, but I think almost everybody just sort of has an instinct for it after practicing it a lot. I don't know if many people actually have a visual cue.
The conveyor still kind of carries you while you're starting your dash, right?
Yeah.
So then it just makes it that much more difficult.
Much better Lamolas for Amy.
Right, Orphis is opting to skip those last chests, and I certainly don't blame him. But it's just one of the few spots that could possibly sort of change the outcome if the silvers happen to be in them.
Yeah, I do see a lot of players actually getting those in the position that these players are in. Like he's getting these, he's getting this chest here. Skip the 2 previous though.
Yeah, Furaime's catching up pretty quickly. He's only a couple rooms behind.
Took a couple swings at Moldom. They look really close, but neither of them connected. Okay, didn't get trolled too bad in the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna slash is all it takes with the tempered. Oh, he's checking them. He checked one of them. Dang, that's not gonna do it.
No, I don't think so. Ooh, got this sticky bomb on the conveyor. Handled it well though. Recovering from some of these little issues really well. All right, Aghanim 2. Your objective here is to hit the real Aghanim with six energy balls.
Yeah, the duplicates will always shoot. Oh, very nice. Triple there, look like. The duplicates will always shoot their energy balls, while the real one has a chance of blue balls.
Yeah, his pattern is the first attack is guaranteed energy, and then he has 2 coin flips, then the next one is guaranteed energy, and then 2 more coin flips, so on forever. That can help you a little bit, you know, if you know that on his 4th attack you can stand in a place that might not be safe if there's a potential for a blue ball. If you know there's not going to be one, but rarely comes into play.
Furaime going into Aghanim 2 just as Orphis finishes.
Yeah.
This is going to be pretty close finish here, but barring some sort of major catastrophe, I think this might be sealed.
Yes, it's going to be tough for sure. Oh, I was just thinking, wow, they got the exact same patterns. That's weird. But yeah, the RNG is actually seeded, so you're going to get the same patterns if you have the same seed every time. And it's going to be the same, about the same speed on that fight. I think 1 cycle faster, maybe.
Now with the Tempered Sword, Orphis is actually going to get 1 extra phase on Ganon's
well, he may not.
first. Well, I mean, if without spin strats, I suppose.
Yeah, you have to do 12 hits with a Tempered Sword in the first 2 phases, as opposed to 6 with the Gold Sword. So he's going to get a 2 cycle in phase 1, and look like it's going to get a 1 cycle in phase 2, which I think is about a 6-second loss. Maybe it's not too significant.
Okay, yeah, he saved that one. I love this little dash strat.
Oh yeah. You know, it's a swaggy thing to do, but it's like, it's actually quite easy to dodge the bats from inside the circle, because the leverage is much more in your favor.
Yeah, because you're not spreading out all sorts of everywhere.
Yeah.
Find the arrows in the light world. Where could they have been? Mimic Cave?
Could have been, yeah. Alright, it's 12 spins for the last phase with the Gold Sword or the Tempered Sword. So there's no real difference there.
Alright, Orphis does get the torch glitch, so he's not going to have to worry about that. Furaime will definitely be as well with that lamp spam.
Oh, yeah. No reason not to spam it. So it's possible to get 3 hits each time you light the torch. You should get a minimum of 2 each time. To get 3, though, you have to have a very good timing on when you light the torch. Very specific. It's like, wow, Furaime knows the fight more. You can tell he's very intentionally timing the torch successfully. I haven't been counting hits, but Furaime's fight's been a little bit better.
This is gonna be really close, guys.
Yeah. Oh man, this could come down to who types .done fastest.
Oh no, Orphis, you gotta light the thing, dude. I'm on the edge of my seat
now.
He does.
Oh. Yeah, man, this guy Orphis has to have like 1 or 2 hits left.
Oh, he's got to use his blue potion.
Oh,
that's
no.
gonna do it.
Oh, dang. Wow.
Furaime has finished with an SRL time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 27 seconds. Orphis has just finished with a time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Dang, dude. I've never seen somebody catch up so much in Ganon's tower without making a better big key gamble.
That was crazy.
Wow. And neither of them have any idea how close this race was. Both of them probably didn't feel too great about their position. Nerves were probably coming into play there. Wow. Dang, so I guess, yeah, we should try to get these people in here for a post-race chat here, if they'd like to.
Looks like Orphis is in the waiting room.
Oh yeah. All right. I'll pull him in. Hey, Orphis.
Hello.
Congrats on the finish. Very nearly had that one.
Yeah, I made a lot of gambles. I did a terrible Silverless Ganon. Oh, and then he won. Well, that's what happens. It's okay. He's a really good player, so I mean that's kind of expected.
Yeah, he's very consistently a top finisher in races. Yeah, it was really crazy though. The early game was so generous, and then your routes diverted so much because he found the bow very early and you didn't, which drove so many of your decisions. But because it restricted your decisions, it sort of forced you to do a really unfortunate thing, which was go to Ice Palace early, which ended up helping in the end. It was a really crazy race, actually.
You got I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was a really weird seed where you had to go to Ice Palace to get the lamp, to get the fire rod later on.
Yeah.
Your lamp find was significantly before your opponent's. You found that, and then you found the fire rod not too long afterwards, and you were, you were headed up towards Turtle Rock right as he was finding it, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just crazy how much he caught up. I think a lot of it was that extra sword he found in Swamp Palace that you didn't get.
Oh,
yeah, he had
I
the
guess
Tempest Sword earlier.
But there's not a lot of bosses where it would help much. I mean, Trinex for sure, it helps a little bit.
Trinex,
but
Argus
it's
a little bit.
a few seconds. Argus, it's a few seconds. It's not a major thing. On Ganon for sure, that's a very big thing. But the rest of the time, it's not really necessary. You can do without, unless you choke. As I did also a little bit on Trinex. But, well, that's the game. I'm not playing from my usual place, and this feels really weird. So I'm kind of glad that I managed to finish just mere seconds after Furaime, because I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, it was really a crazy finish. One of the craziest finishes I've seen in a while.
Yeah. I think this confirms my thinking that for V26, you need to make the worst choices possible.
Seems like it sometimes.
Are the one that pay off.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Silver arrows were on the pedestal, it seems.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, the Razor Blade slips again, I guess. Well, I would have never found the other sword because I was just missing the hammer. Not sure what was the last item for Furaime. I guess it was the same, maybe? Or did he need something else?
He had found the bow right after finding the mirror. So he had that up really quickly, and then it didn't take him too much longer after that to find the hammer. In fact, you pulled the fire rod while he pulled the hammer at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's kind of expected. But I mean, I didn't. As soon as I managed to get to get my lamp, I went to Mire. I completed it. I got the fire rod. I left it. I went to Desert Palace. I got the bow. I left after seeing that I didn't have the key to Palace of Darkness. Or did I do some other things? No, I went to do Skullwoods and Thieves Town first.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then I got the boots at the purple chest, and then I went to do Pod and Eastern. So yeah, so it took me a while to find it. But those dungeons didn't really matter too much because it was just I had all the items, so I just had to complete them. And Thieves Town, there's not a lot that you can optimize anyway. So well, I lost. It's fine.
Yeah, you
It's
still got a
fine.
lot more chance.
I'll just get an easier opponent next. I mean, who wants to win their 7 games or 6 games, right? It's just like hard and hard and harder.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I just want to get my 4 games.
I guess that's
That should be fine.
a positive mindset.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to win it all to be qualified for the next round, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh well. I'll see when my next game is next week. I hope that I can play it. It's going to be a little bit tricky because I'm going to be traveling again at yet another location. So
Nice.
We'll see what I can do.
And just a small tangent here. You're still in the entrance shuffle tournament going on, isn't that right?
Yes, I am. But because I'm traveling and I'm not really comfortable, and this is the semi-finals, I really don't want to play it in a way that doesn't work for me really well. Like playing on my laptop with my controller that doesn't seem to react the same way that it does on my desktop, and much smaller screen, so I'd have way less space for my tracker and much smaller game window. It's just so different. I don't want to play when I'm not at home, so I guess it will have to wait until I'm back.
Yeah,
and yes,
that's
I'm French,
understandable.
really.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
playing on an unfamiliar setup can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and I'm playing on a different setup. It's just like, I mean, I realize that I can play, that my stream can be stable if I tell everyone in the house to use Netflix and use all the bandwidth that is available here. So that works. I can stream still better than getting a forfeit because I don't play. Oh well.
Right.
We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, well, good luck with your next race, whoever your opponent ends up being.
Thank you.
Up next on this channel, we have, I believe, another A Link to the Past randomizer race. Let me check the schedule quickly. Looks like it's going to be Koblalala versus Ice Blue. I think, Beacon, you're going to be sticking around to do commentary on that one, right?
I'm either doing that or tracking. We'll see.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure who else is going to be in. I think in the name of DT. I think he's a fan favorite.
So yeah, definitely stick around for that. And thank you, Scooge, for commentating.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for joining me.
Yes, everyone follow the everyone. The runners, the Feasel, the restreamers, everyone.
Thank you guys for commenting.